The lights up bright, dope, Campbell Stadium is alive. Seminoles rise and fight to survive. Helmet gleam under that blazing sun. Florida State where champions run. Seminole sideline 365. Feel the roar, we're coming alive. Garnet and gold in the battle we thrive. This is our house where legends arrive. Turf torn up under Seminole feet. The war chant pounds to the heart's own beat. Chop through the noise like a storm in the sky. 2025, we reach for the high. Seminole sideline 365.
Okay, welcome to the show, Knowles fans. It's let's do time check. It's 3 December, and it's just after 4 o'clock. 1 minute after 4 o'clock. You may be on the drive home. You may be already home, and maybe you're bored as hell, and maybe you want some Knowles news and rants from the old man. Beautiful day here in Tampa. I'm down here on the road in Tampa. I had the fun of kind of fun, going to watch Knowles basketball game in Battle in the Bay against Texas A&M, and I watched the game last night on TV against Georgia at the Tucker Center, and I had to get on the air this afternoon. I debated it. Should I shouldn't? KB and I are going to be on later tonight at 7:40, our regular nightly schedule. 7:40 p.m. tonight. We'll be live talking about a number of issues, college football, but FSU in particular. It's National Signing Day. You know, how did the Knowles do with the high school recruits? Early signing day was today. So we'll be talking about a lot of issues, and we'll hope you join us this evening to get your thoughts and comments up on the air. But I felt compelled. I literally felt compelled to get up on the air today about what's going on in FSU basketball. Now, I am personally all in on new coach, first-year coach, former FSU player, and from Clearwater, Florida, Loucks. Coach Loucks, to me, brings the right attitude, the right motivation and enthusiasm, but also the right candor to be communicating with fans and players alike of what he expects, how he expects to do it, and the results in the end of challenging for championships. That's the only reason he's here. He's a very passionate guy. And if you have not listened to his press conferences, I'm going to give you an opportunity in just a couple of minutes. We're going to listen to Loucks' press conferences, I don't know, 10 or 11 minutes, and I'm going to make comments of why I think it's one of the most important press conferences that I've seen from FSU basketball in a long time. In fact, I think it's the most dynamic, most candid, most visible, transparent, whatever words you want to use, of a press conference coming out of Florida State in a long time, and it tops anything Mike Norvell has put out. And I'm not just beating up Mike Norvell. I'm not here to beat up Mike Norvell. I'm here to report on FSU basketball, and that's what I'm going to talk about over the next few minutes. But I want you to know I'm all in with this guy. I think he can get the job done, but, and it's a big but, it may not occur in year one. I think if he could break even, get to a 500 season overall, I think that's a win for the program. He's had to put together a first-year roster. He had to do it in a hurry. I don't want to call these guys leftovers, but that could be kind of the trend we're seeing now. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead, and if I can get my technical skills here together, I want to get Loucks. I want to get him started off. Now, this press conference just occurred last night. This was after the loss, a huge loss again by the Noles to the University of Georgia in Tucker Center at our home court. It was almost, it wavered between 30 and 40 points at any one period. We never led in this contest that I remember. And then we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on with the roster, what's going on in the last two games. In the last two games against Texas A&M, which I attended, and the University of Georgia, the Noles men's basketball have been defeated by 30 plus points. Okay, 30 plus points. They've been 40 points. They have been blown out in the last two games. The most important game I think they played against a Power 4 team has been the University of Florida, which they took down to the buzzer and lost by a couple of points. Very, very significant game there. In fact, let's see, against University of Florida, they lost by 2 points in Gainesville. To me, that is the best game that they've played this season so far. They lost to Texas A&M 95-59, and they lost to the University of Georgia 107-73. And both those games were, as I said, blowouts. So let me go ahead and push this up. Now, whether you're watching or you're just listening, in your car or at home, you can listen to it as a podcast. Do whatever the hell you want. But I think if you have any interest in FSU basketball, and I know there's a big drop-off between football and basketball. I get that. I fully understand. Well, I don't fully understand, to be honest. If you're an FSU fan, I'd like to see you get behind this program. I'd like to see you get behind it. It's a great way to take yourself or the family or your girlfriend or your partner or whoever and go to a game and get a cheap ticket price to go watch the Noles at the Tucker Center. And there's some damn good basketball going to be played there. The next team in, which is scary, is Houston, who I believe is ranked number 8 in the country right now. And they're a big-time basketball program. So let's take a look here at the press conference. Listen to what's going on. And then if you have comments, drop me some comments here today. And I'd love to comment on the comments, I guess. But let's go ahead and run this, if I can get this thing up and running, and be patient with me. And we'll stop it here or there to make some points. Okay, let's go ahead and push this out.
An understatement from myself, from our coaching staff. Thrashing like that in back-to-back games, disappointing would be an understatement from myself, from our coaching staff. Just completely unacceptable. We gave up over 200 points in 2 games. And to me, we let our missed shots again early completely affect our level of commitment to compete. And I told the guys after the game, I'm going to watch the film. Obviously, I'm emotional. They should be emotional too. It's completely embarrassing in front of a good crowd at home that wants to come support us. And that's how you show up and play. But I'm going to watch the film, and I'm going to find 5 guys that will compete. I don't care who they are. I don't care how young they are. I don't care how old they are. I don't care what they do. They're going to compete. I'm not going to allow this season to be dictated by missing shots, and then our soul leaves our body. It's like you play big time basketball. You will continue to get your teeth kicked in if you don't lay it on the line. And hey, guess what? Houston's pretty good too, and they're coming. And so we're gonna watch the film.
Does it get any more candid than that from a head coach? He said, I'm going to find 5 guys that want to play basketball here. He's calling out that entire team, not by name, not by position, but he's calling out the team to say, your effort is not good enough. Your effort is not good enough. for this program. So you better get your effort up, or I'll play the last guy on the bench and I'll put you on the bench. It doesn't get any more candid than that. He said, we've been outscored 200. We've given up 200 points in the last 2 games. We weren't close. He is frustrated. He is pissed off. And if you've ever coached anything in your life, you're totally embarrassed at home. He was totally, this team and coach was totally embarrassed in Tampa. I saw his entire family and friends there in Tampa waiting to go into the arena at Benchmark International Arena there in Tampa. Used to call it Amalie Arena. And he said, I was embarrassed for them. I was embarrassed for this team. I was embarrassed for the program. And so he expected a bigger effort against Georgia. This is what he's speaking about in the press conference. This is a press conference after Georgia, but it sounds very similar to the Texas A&M one. If you go back and look at the one before it's incredible. But he is fixated on what's going on. However, I know in the back of his mind, he knows he does not have the talent that he needs to win consistently right now. So let's take some more of his comments and we'll talk.
We're going to find a group and a rotation that is willing to work. And regardless of circumstances, they're willing to lay it on the line. I mean, Georgia's a good team. I think Mike's doing a really good job. They've built their team on a system similar to how we're trying to do, and we'll eventually get there. They do a great job in transition, but our entire game plan went out the window in the first half. They were driving 94 feet. No one stopped the ball. No one shifted the ball. We didn't protect the rim. Layup and dunk after layup and dunk. And it was because our guys missed shots early and they let it affect their overall, compete level, in my opinion. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll see something different on film, but in real time, we from a staff, we tried just about everything. We went zone. It worked a little bit better in the second half. We went zone. We pressed, fell back to man. We went switching 1 through 5. We did our base coverages. It doesn't really matter. You can be John Wooden if you don't have the intensity in the fight.
Okay, what he's telling you right now is he is totally dissatisfied with the defensive effort of his basketball team. He is about ready to explode, but I do like his demeanor. I do like his transparency, and I do like his candor about what's going on and accountability for every member of this program.
And the grit to work through some things. Doesn't matter what schemes and strategy you have, nothing's going to work. So those are my thoughts.
Questions, please.
I presume you reinforced things after the A&M game. How disappointing was it that didn't show up?
Yeah, and that was the other message I said to our team. We had 2 of the best practices of the year. We had way more intensity in practice than the game, which, guys, what are we doing? The bright lights are on. You got a great crowd, a big-time opponent in the SEC.
Now you have to remember, Loucks played for the Florida State Seminoles and won a championship here. And he understands how to play at a big-time level. He played ball at a professional level overseas. He's coached as an assistant in the NBA. He knows what he's looking for. Okay, I don't think it's a problem with the coaching. I do believe there's a problem with the talent, which we'll talk about in a few minutes.
And we practice harder than we played. We beat each other up more than we did Georgia. It's baffling. And like I said, I'm going to find a group of guys that's willing to lay it on the line, and everyone else is going to sit on the bench. Not sound like.
That's a pretty harsh statement. I'm going to find a group of guys that want to play, and you'll sit down. I don't care who you are, what you're scoring. If you're not all in, then you're going to sit the bench.
Bobby Knight, the bench is the ultimate motivator. the whole ass meets bench sends a signal to brain figures out what's going on, and then all of a sudden you're motivated to play. There's gonna be some guys sitting down, and it's not because they're missing shots. It's because they're not playing hard. We're not living up to our value. One of our core values is compete, and if you're not competing, you come be an extra coach for me.
You guys, a couple of games ago, you had Leger. He had 10 threes by himself, ties the program record. It's been 3 straight with single digits from the entire team. And then you talked about like missing shots and affecting mentality. Why is it so volatile? I know you might not have the answer right now, but from what you've been able to dissect so far.
Yeah, it's a great question. I turned to Jim Moran early in the game, and I'm sure I'll say this throughout the year, and especially as we build our program. Like, this is the first I've ever seen. Like, we generated so many great open looks in the first half, wide open catch and shoot in the corner often, that we just didn't make, and we got to find a way to make shots.
This is not, so far, the shooting team that Coach Loucks thought he had. He thought these perimeter shooters, and that's why we basically start 3 guards. We'll play about 5 guards deep to hit 2-point shots, field goals, and 3-pointers on a more consistent basis. The long-range shooting has been a total failure in the last 2 games against quality opponents. And this is going to be a problem moving forward.
This team was built on shooting, and if we can't make shots with how many shooters we have, we're gonna have some problems. We're gonna have some issues. So part of it is,
it doesn't get more candid than that. We're going to have problems. We're going to have issues if we can't get shots to go down, because what he's leading to is I have no bigs. I have no big men on this team, and we've got to hit from outside.
but it's have some poise as the game is going to step up and do your job and make open shots. But the other part of it, like in life, things don't always go your way. And we let miss shots and great looks, but we let miss shots affect everything else going on. And to me, that's where I draw the line.
Team is not mentally tough. That's what he's saying. This team is not mentally tough. When it hit adversity, it didn't respond. It took away our energy. We stopped playing defense. We stopped hustling. And I'm going to look for who those guys are, and we'll find out who they are. And I'm going to have a talk with them, and they're going to ride the bench if needed.
You know, I don't know how good we'll be this year. I think we got a chance to be pretty good if we compete. But there's one thing I won't bend on in terms of our standard. I will not let our guys not work hard.
I love that statement. I will not let our guys not work hard. I will not let our guys not show the effort or the right attitude to compete and work hard for this program. You may be a one-year guy. You may be a one-year hire coming in here to play. You may have been paid decently. And if you're not hustling, I know you don't really have loyalty to Florida State as much as I do as head coach, then I'm gonna find out who you are, and I'm gonna sit you down.
I don't care if we lose every other game from here on out and we miss every 3-point attempt from here on out. If you're not working the way I think this team can work, and I've seen this team work, we're gonna have a lot of guys sitting on the bench.
It seemed, obviously, it's been worse the last 2 games, but it's felt like a while. Maybe, I mean, it's the Florida game, maybe the last time you were satisfied with a first half. What do you think is there a common theme between it's maybe not the best starts, the best first halves through a lot of this beginning stretch of the season?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna shake up the starting lineup. And it's not a blame on anyone individually in that starting lineup, but and actually statistically and analytically, that's our best lineup. But in the first half,
And right there, he said, I'm going to shake up the starting lineup. I'm going to play those guys who deserve the minutes from what I see them do in practice and in the games. That's a very telling standard that he's pushing forward right there. And I think that's important for you to hear. Now, this is going to be a very interesting program to watch under Coach Loucks. And That's not all the interview. You can go on there and watch the rest if you have interest, and I think you should watch it. I think it's very, very telling of what he's trying to do here. He does not have the people in place at this point, in my opinion, in my limited opinion, to get done what he really needs to do. He's going to need a year or two, a couple of seasons to get the people in place to really grow this program. I think, and what I can do is I want to, let's see, let me share a screen with you, a roster here. Let me try to put it up for you. And let's see if I can do this. Because if he can get the right people in place, then it's going to change things for him and change things for this program. And that's going to be important to do. It's going to be very important to do. There's certain guys on this roster right now that aren't what I would call huge contributors. They're just unless they're on their maximum, if they're not maximum producers every game, we're going to have trouble winning games. We're definitely going to have problems winning games. And I think that's something that it's going to be frustrating for this coach. It's definitely going to be frustrating for this coach. And I want to give you a better idea of what I'm talking about right here. Let's share this with you, so you get an idea who's on this roster. You may not know who's on this roster. This is like a completely new roster than what we had last year. So let me look at some of the names here that I want you to be aware of as we go through this. We've got a couple of freshmen on this team. One is Thomas Bassong. He's from France. I think this guy has ability. I really do. I think he has some ability, but he's a freshman. He's 6'8". He's a 6'8" forward. But right now he's playing double-digit minutes. He's not scoring the way I thought he might score, but he's adapting to the game. Jalen Crawford plays minimum. He doesn't even hardly play. Okay. Maximo Garcia Plata, I don't know where the hell he is, to be honest with you. I haven't seen him on the court. I don't see him in the box scores. I don't even know if he's on the team anymore. Jones is one of your key starters. He's probably, I would say, him and Jones and McCray Robert McCray, another guard, are your best two shooters on this basketball team. And then you have Kobe McGee, again, another key shooter on this team. Some people have told me in the comments that Cam Miles guy that you want to keep an eye on. Cam Miles, he is another shooting guard, but these guys have to be on each and every night, getting double-digit points, getting potentially 4 to 6 rebounds. They got to be scrapers, because there's no bigs on this team that are worth a damn. Okay, and that's no disrespect to players. It's the truth of what's happening so far in the first part of this season, and we're going to get more data as the season rolls on. Your biggest scorers, the biggest and most consistent scorers on this basketball team are Chauncey Wiggs, a forward, a 6'10" forward. Chauncey Wiggs should be knocking down double-digit points and double-digit rebounds. I'd like to see him get 8 to 10 rebounds per game. He's a transfer from Clemson. Have not seen much from A.J. Swinton yet. Swinton is a transfer. He's been disciplined once early in the season so far. He didn't play many minutes last night against Georgia. I don't see him at this point with an attitude, with a great attitude, and he's probably. It'll be interesting to see how many minutes he gets going forward. probably one of the biggest hustlers on this team, a guy who puts all effort in, plays to the top of his ability, which is limited as a big guy. Alex Sten. Alex Sten from Panama City Beach, Florida. He's 6'9", 230. He's a hustler. He's a scrapper. He is generally the guy who leads in rebounds per game. He'll be anywhere between 8 and 10 rebounds. He's a guy we need to get double-digit rebounds from and maybe 4 to 6 points per game. He is not a scorer. He doesn't finish well at the rim, but he will give you 100% effort. I expect his minutes to stay steady or to increase. Martin Somerville is another shooting guard. He is inconsistent with his points per game. We need to get more points from Somerville. Let's see. Xavier Osceola, not expected to get many minutes from him. Now, another big forward, 6'11" forward, Shah Mohammed. He is a transfer in and basically a shot blocker, a dunker, but again, very limited points. He gets in a lot of foul trouble. He gets in a lot of goaltending situations, trying to be aggressive defensively. He's more of a defensive guy in the middle to cut down drives to the hoop. He is not a scorer on this basketball team. So your scorers are Cam Miles, Robert McCray, Kobe McGee, and Jones. Those are the guys you expect to get a bulk of your scoring. Maluk is another big 6'11", 220 guy. He's not filled out. He's a young guy. He's a project guy. He is not going to make a big difference on this basketball team. He played in the final minutes of a blowout last night and against Texas A&M somewhat. He's not getting a lot of minutes either. So if you look at this roster, it's not pretty. And if we get any injuries in our shooting guards, or we get an injury with Chauncey Wiggins, who's inconsistent at this point, this basketball team's going to be in a lot of trouble. It's going to be in a lot of trouble. But I hope if you have interest in basketball, in the basketball program here, you will go back and you will look at some of this, some of the interview. The press conference there against the University of Georgia, the post game with that. I think it's very telling, and it could be a frequent type of press conference for a frustrated head coach that we have right now. I think it's unfortunate, but I'm all in on Coach Loucks, and I hope he's able to get more out of this basketball team. I want to show you what's happening on some of the statistics of these games that is telling, and if we see it going along in future games, it's going to be problematic. It's going to be very problematic for this basketball team. Let me get this up here. I want to show you this. Okay, this is the game last night, and it's very, very similar to what we saw against on last Friday. You can see right here the shooting percentage, 39% field goals. That's your 2-point shot, and driving the ball. We didn't finish well at the hoop. We couldn't get layups up and in. We couldn't rebound the ball well enough on the offensive end. 39% is not going to get the job done. 3-point percentage, which Coach Luke wants an NBA-style shooting with anywhere from 30 to 40 3-pointers. 8 of those, 27%. The average is what Georgia did, around 37, 38%. So when you're shooting a combined 39% field goals and 27% 3-pointers, you're not going to win many basketball games. Those two right there will tell you how many games you're going to win. And here's one that's remarkable. They're foul shots, the free throw line, where nobody's pestering you. You have a chance to make all of these. And for this team to win, they're going to be in a lot. their best chance to win are going to be close games. Right now, they're not going to win those close games because of the foul shooting. They're terrible there. In the game against Georgia last night, 50%. 50%. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. You can see Georgia shot 76%. Obviously, you're looking for 75 to 80% of your foul shooting. The best teams in the country are going to be at those numbers. So that is a total disaster. Again, they were out rebounded 48 to 27 because they have no bigs there in the paint. So they've got to all go for the they've got to send 4 guys to get a rebound. They have to. And if you're not willing to rebound and give that effort, you probably shouldn't be in there too long, because when you get out rebounded that way, you're going to have problems. Actually, the defensive rebounds is where we got hurt, 33 to 14. Pretty much even on the offensive rebounds, but you got creamed on the defensive rebounds. That's a big issue. Big issue. You can see the rest of the stats here as I'm going through them, I believe. Turnovers, we're one of the best at creating turnovers in the country, but we didn't get any points hardly off those turnovers. We got 4 points basically off those turnovers. Points off we're 12 points. That's not enough given the turnovers we created. The largest lead was 40 points. 40 points. So again, a big issue there. That's not gonna get it done, to be honest with you. I don't know what else to say to that. It's very disappointing. I hope that graph came up. I don't know if it did or it didn't. But you know, the Texas A&M looked almost the same as well. That was very disappointing. The statistics were super low. Let me see if I can get that one up for you. I would like to show you that. Let's see. Let's go right here, and let's see if I can share this with you. Get it up on the screen here. And be able to be, let's see. Did it go up? It didn't go up. What's going on here? It didn't go up. Let me push this one up. And I'm sorry for the technical stuff. I'm not great at the technical piece. And for some reason, let's see if it'll go up for me. Let's see if we can get a win here on the technical end of things. No, for some reason, it does not want to go up. So I'll just speak to it. I'll just speak to it here. At the A&M, on the A&M side of the house, we got beat 95 to 59, and the scoring was, I mean, it was. In field goal percentage, Seminoles shot 29%. You're not going to beat anybody with that. When you add in a 3-point of 22%, that's a loser. And rebounds, we got out rebounded by 20, 60 to 40 in that game against Texas A&M. All of these statistics are very important as you look at them, because you can tell you're going to lose those games. So that's what I wanted to bring to you today. We've got kind of a weak team roster based on shooting from the outside with a lot of 3-point shots. We're very weak down underneath. So any team that has any bigs worth their weight that we play that are in the paint, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be very ugly. So this is, and our foul shooting is horrible. So if we're in close games to win a game, which I expect those are the types of games we're going to have to try to win in the last couple of minutes and shooting foul shots, we're absolutely horrible. So there's a lot to build on, a lot to work on, and Coach Loucks has his hands full. But let's not let's not abandon this program. Let's not abandon Luke Loucks. And he did say in that interview, if you look late in the interview, he kind of lays out that the best programs in the country, let's say the top 25 programs in this country, maybe the top 30, they've got a bag of money now in NIL money and cap money coming from the athletic department to get some of the best players in the country to come in and play. And he knows that's the secret. Coaching, yes. But having guys on the team that are elite players is the key to winning a lot of games in Division I, Power 4 basketball. For Seminole Sideline 365, thanks for joining me. Thanks for putting up with any technical issues I had. And I'm going to bring you more basketball for any of you guys out there that like basketball. I'm going to try to bring you more basketball. And my thoughts and my opinions, KB will sometimes join us. Sometimes he's not there because he's out on assignment actually working a job. So, but tonight, join us tonight. KB and I will be online at live 7:40 tonight to talk more football and no basketball. All right. This is the old man out of here for Seminole Sideline 365. Go Noles.
Seminoles